Hello and welcome, Minnesota Farah. We are genuinely very happy to have you with us for our daily coverage of the NFL news. Please subscribe to our channel to support our initiative as we bring to you the latest updates from the world of NFL on a daily basis. Now let's dive deep into our news stories.
Welcome to another exciting episode of NFL Fantasy Football Weekly. I'm your host, and today we've got a jam-packed show with 7 thrilling updates to keep you on the cutting edge of fantasy football for Week 4. So get ready for a deep dive into the world of NFL fantasy. One still Raheem Mostert. We kick things off with a shocker. Through 3 weeks, Christian McCaffrey may be the name on everyone's lips, but it's not him who sits atop the RB rankings. Nope, it's the 31-year-old speedster Raheem Mostert, who's been tearing up the field for the Miami Dolphins. Mostert's recent burst, reaching a blazing 21.62 miles per hour, has solidified his place as a fantasy must-start. The last 31-year-old to achieve such fantasy greatness was none other than the legendary Walter Payton back in 1985. Could Mostert be destined for the same glory? Only time will tell, but for now, keep him in your starting lineup. Now, let's move on to our next update. To the next-gen Mostert rocket. But wait, there's more excitement brewing in Miami. It's not just Mostert dominating, it's also rookie sensation Devon Achane. This speedster burst onto the scene with a jaw-dropping 45.2 fantasy points against the Broncos, stealing the RB1 spot on his own team. Achane's rapid rise, fueled by his 4.340-yard dash speed, has made him a fantasy darling, outpacing even Mostert in points per opportunity. It's safe to say that Coach Mike McDaniel's need for speed is paying dividends for fantasy managers. Now, let's move on to our next update. 3 Loud and Stroud direct hit. Down in Houston, rookie QB CJ Stroud is turning heads. The Texans are leaning heavily on their second overall draft pick, with Stroud averaging a stunning 302 passing yards per game. What's even more impressive is Stroud's ability to support not one but 2 fantasy-relevant receivers, Tank Dell and Nico Collins. It's a rare sight to see a rookie quarterback leading the league in third down passing and maintaining a clean slate with 0 giveaways. Fantasy managers who grabbed Stroud are certainly pleased with their investment. Now, let's move on to our next update. For next bold up high voltage. Over to the West Coast, the Los Angeles Chargers have an exciting dilemma. With Mike Williams sidelined for the season, fantasy managers are deciding between Josh Palmer and rookie Quentin Johnston. Last season, when Williams was absent, Palmer stepped up, averaging 16.0 fantasy points per game and becoming a top-end WR2. The Chargers' high-passing volume offense offers plenty of opportunities, making Palmer the frontrunner for now. But keep an eye on Johnston, the 21st overall pick, who could quickly rise in value. Now, let's move on to our next update. 5 Honest goal line work American football. In Dallas, Tony Pollard is proving that goal line carries are fantasy gold. Pollard, along with Kenneth Walker III, leads the league in such carries, each worth 3 fantasy points on average. Meanwhile, players like Josh Jacobs and Alexander Mattison, despite not finding the end zone yet, have 4 goal line attempts to their name. On the flip side, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, James Cook, and Ramondre Stevenson have just 1 each. Spare a thought for Travis Etienne Jr., Najee Harris, and Breece Hall, who have 0. Jalen Hurts, the QB, even joins the goal line party with 4 carries. Now, let's move on to our next update. 6 Spare a TD. Man gesturing no. Touchdowns are fickle, my friends, especially for wide receivers. Let's talk about the 6 stud wideouts who shine even without touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb becomes the WR9 if you neutralize touchdowns, and Ja'Marr Chase moves up to WR16. Michael Thomas and Chris Olave also impress with yards but no TDs. On the other hand, players heavily reliant on touchdowns may be in for a reality check. Take Romeo Doubs, for example, who drops from WR28 to WR47 without TDs. Keep an eye on Puka Nacua. He's due for positive regression with 0 receiving touchdowns despite a league-leading 42 targets. Now, let's move on to our final update. 720 by 3 in 2023 direct hit. Who's ready for some target mania? In a rare turn of events, we've already seen 3 wideouts receive 20 or more targets in a single game this season. Puka Nacua, Keenan Allen, and Davante Adams have been gobbling up passes like never before. Historically, this has been a sign of greatness, as Julio Jones and Tyler Lockett proved in seasons past. Cooper Kupp, who also accomplished this feat, went on to become the WR1 in 2020. These target monsters are delivering big for fantasy managers. And that's a wrap. 7 juicy updates to keep you ahead of the curve in the coming week of NFL fantasy football. Remember to stay tuned for more exciting insights as the season unfolds. Until next time, keep those fantasy lineups sharp and your touchdown celebrations ready.